Hello, my friends. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today in this video, I felt like, wow, actually, it's been a little bit of time since I last made a video, and I kind of really wanted to make another one to discuss another very important element to eradicating and eliminating, destroying, killing anxiety out of your life, and depression for that matter. And if you ever had a look at my previous video, I talk about these techniques called acceptance and commitment therapy, and also disassociating yourself from negative thoughts and not applying yourself and your energy to those thoughts, and not applying uh, yourself to the sensations or the scary sensations that are happening inside your body whenever you're going through an anxious or depressive episode. Um, so I spoke about all that in the last video, but I kind of looked back on it kind of recently, and like I think the advice I provided was all good and well. I don't question the advice I gave out, but um, what I do question is the way I felt at that point in time when I made that video, the way I was feeling when I made that video to you. That was a very, very dark period of my struggle with anxiety and depression, and really the thing that I was lacking in that video was something very, very, very integral, something uh, that you need to apply to yourself before going down that path of accepting the sensations and disassociating yourself with negative thoughts. Um, and since that last video, I come to you today in a very, very humbling way. I come to you very humbled and very raw, to say the least, with what I'm about to tell you. So, the thing that I was lacking in that last video was something that is so vital, so integral, so important in getting over this stupid stuff, okay? And that is the power of belief. So, what do I mean by the power of belief? Well, let's look at an example here. That's just kind of just popped up in my head right now. If you look at surfers, okay, so people who go out and surf, go to the beach, and that is their life. That is their sanctuary, the ocean. And all they can think about all day is just surfing those waves and doing it again and again without any kind of other fear behind them. So let's look at that example and just say, hey, so these surfers, are they necessarily worried about, say, getting attacked by a shark? Sure, we see like those horrible, horrible news stories of where, a surfer has been attacked by a shark, and, it's proved to be fatal or have them, seriously injured, losing limbs or whatever. But do you really think that surfers, for an example, think about that all the time? What I might say further to that is, do you really think that surfers necessarily believe that they're going to be attacked by a shark all the time? Well, no, they don't. They don't waste their energy and their time brooding on such matters. And they see those sharks as something that is outside of their control, but is so integrated with nature, and that the sharks are always going to be there. But when it comes to surfers, they're not thinking about that. They're not believing it. They don't believe that they're going to be attacked, because it distracts them from from their passion, from what they want to do. And so, if to turn this around back onto you, do you now? I want you to look at yourself for a second, and I want you to think to yourself: do you necessarily believe that there is something incredibly wrong with you? Do you necessarily believe that you have a certain condition other than other than that answer of anxiety you constantly get? Do you believe that you know um, every single day you feel the way you do is something that is? Do you feel like the way you feel every day is something that is dangerous to you, or is something that is sinister? Much the same way that a surfer would not believe about shark attacks or sharks, about being attacked by sharks. Do you think they invest their time in that belief? And for example, with a surfer, do you necessarily think that it is worth them believing in something that is outside of their control? Are you believing something that is outside of your control? I think this is just so fundamentally important to realize this. To find yourself believing in something that isn't going to happen to you. So, sure, I guess, my example was, surfers going out and catching waves and stuff. Sure, there's a very, very, very slim chance they're going to get attacked by a shark, but what? How many surfers are there in the world? Millions. How many shark attacks do we hear about? I don't know. I'm not too sure what the statistics are on shark attacks, but I'm sure it'd be under like 100, or maybe even under 50. And so if you could look at that the same fashion, that what you think you might have, this rare friggin' disease, or this other thing that is causing you to feel the sensations you're feeling, that it's something sinister, something is wrong, besides anxiety. Well, you might as well buy a lotto ticket, because uh, because if you use that same belief in say buying lottery tickets, then you might as well do that every single time and see if you win. Statistics are so slim that you could have something else wrong with you when you have been told time and time and time again that you have anxiety. And if you look at yourself right now, do you find yourself behaving compulsively, obsessively and compulsively, having OCD, doing things during your day that might make you feel temporarily a little bit better? I guess like the way I want to turn this all around is that I'm going to say that it is absolutely useless to apply those acceptance and commitment techniques, and is absolutely useless to apply disassociation with negative thoughts when you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that there's nothing wrong with you. So I just wanted to, I guess, provide that to you, because when I look at myself in that previous video, I see myself bouncing in and around outside the camera. I see myself my energy is not grounded. My energy is kind of everywhere. I'm a little bit shaky. I even notice my voices are quite a lot higher because I'm not embodying belief behind what the advice I'm giving you. So what I'm going to say here is to hell with accepting your sensations, and to hell with disassociating yourself from negative thoughts, unless you have that power of belief in you to keep going. And recently I started believing that there's nothing wrong with me, and I started believing that I'm a young, healthy young man and there isn't a single thing in this world that is going to stop these awful sensations from happening to me, for these awful sensations to keep happening. There's nothing in this world that's going to stop that outside of me besides myself. I'm the only one who can fully get through this tough time by believing. Once you have a belief system set in place that there is nothing wrong, well, sure, that's not going to get rid of any of the negative thinking and the horrible sensations you feel in your body, like a rapid heart, about low energy, about dizziness, about vertigo, about nausea, about ringing ears, about tunnel vision, about sweating, about anything really. Like, those sensations are still going to keep happening, even if you do believe you're okay. But what I'm saying to you here is that so long as you have that belief that you're okay, then start applying the techniques. Then start applying it. I can't tell you how long it's going to take for you to get this belief system properly in place, but I've put this belief system in place in the last month or so, and probably less than that, maybe the last couple of weeks or so, and I've already felt dramatically better. I've had friends, family say to me, "Hey, Jacob, you look a lot more alive, a lot more like yourself." And that really pushes me on further to keep this up. So just keep that in mind, believe you're okay, and you'll get over it. Have a good one, guys. Catch ya.